Perfect. So we're going to start by laying down on our backs. So you have either a pillow or a chair or a bolster. So you want to put that under your legs. You can have the other blanket under your head. For your blanket, remember that you can always make a little bit of support for under the neck so that you have a neutral curvature. Extend your legs, or if you're having your chair, you're gonna go at a 90-degree angle as we usually do. So we are aiming to release the lower back onto the floor. Move your hands by your sides, palms facing up. And take a few moments here to adjust your body. So sometimes tucking the tailbone and releasing the sacrum on the floor really helps. Sometimes it's just about throwing the blades together and then releasing the upper back onto the floor. Whatever movement you need to make so that your body is fully relaxed, go for it. Then close your eyes and take a couple of long, deep breaths. And you want to bring your thumbs and index together for Gyan Mudra. Relax all other 3 fingers. You don't have to keep the extension, just let go. And scan your body from bottom to top. And relax your toes. Relax your foot soles. Relax the top of your feet. Relax your ankles. Relax your lower legs. Your knees, let them soften. Relax your thighs, your buttocks. Allow your hips to be heavy. And pay attention if your hips land evenly on the floor, or perhaps you feel a little bit rotated. Maybe one hip is closer to the ground than the other one. Notice if your lower back is flat. And if you know that your lower back or your whole back is flat already, you can always have a blanket across the lumbar spine. You know who I'm talking to. Relax your upper back, your shoulders, let them be heavy. Feel the weight of your arms. Relax your face, relax your jaw. And allow your eyes to sink into its sockets. And then draw the awareness to your breath and notice how you're breathing right now. And remember, if your breath is short and shallow, then your mind is somewhat set in the future. You're still fixing, planning, worrying, whatever that is. Instead of fighting your mind, think about controlling your breath. It's much easier. The mind will follow. If your exhalations seem longer than the inhalations, perhaps your mind is set in the past. And maybe you are thinking when things were better or worse. Whatever that is, just try to bring your mind to the here and now by anchoring it on your breath. You really want to pay attention to the breath, no matter what thoughts are crossing your mind right now. So on your next inhalation, send the awareness as far down into your belly and expand your belly, your side ribs, your chest. Fill up to the top of the lungs. Exhale. Again, breathe in, belly, side ribs, chest fills up all the way up to the lungs, shoulders, When you exhale, let the air leave you from top to bottom. Your chest lowers, your side ribs empty, and finally your navel drops. Breathing deeply into your belly, rising. Falling as you exhale. Rising. Falling. You can repeat in your mind the mantra So as you inhale, hum as you exhale. So as you inhale, hum as you exhale. So hum. I am that. I am one with my Creator. I am one with the universe. You and I are one. So hum. If the mantra doesn't resonate with you, don't worry. Continue to observe your breath. Perhaps repeating in your mind rising as you inhale and falling as you exhale can help you to keep your mind engaged. Whatever you pick, just don't let your mind wander. I will leave you to it. You won't hear my voice for a little bit. And then with the singing bowl, I will call you out of the pose. Watch your breath. Hum. Remember that restorative yoga is way more than just laying down. The difficult part is to settle the mind, to be still. Once the body goes into stillness, the mind will start wandering. So catch it and bring it back. Use your mantra or use your breath or both. Don't let your mind go. Continue with your mantra. Take one more breath here, full deep breath. And send your awareness down to your feet. Wiggle your toes. Move your feet side to side. Wiggle your fingers. If you have a chair, you may move the chair out of the way or move out of the couch. If you have a bolster or a pillow, you can move it out of the way. And then stretch your arms overhead on your next inhalation and extend your legs and squeeze every muscle, especially your thighs, your glutes. And side out, let go. Again, inhale deeply, stretch. Tight, tight, tight. And let go. Last one, make it count. Breathe in to the top of your lungs. Stretch and tense and squeeze every corner of your body, from toes to fists, prune face maybe. And exhale, let all tension go. Take a few moments, keep your legs extended, keep your hands by your sides, and just observe your energy, observe your breath. See if you can notice your heartbeat. Listen. We're gonna take one more breath here, full deep breath. And when you're ready, bend your knees, bring your foot soles on the floor. So if you like, you can hug your knees and rock side to side. You could also rest your feet on the floor and swing your knees side to side. Or you can do both. And when you're ready, come back to center. Have one blanket under your knee. Oh, actually, we're gonna turn towards the left shoulder before we do that. And you can have your pillow or your blanket behind you or under your knee. So it really depends what kind of twist you have. So we're gonna extend the bottom leg and rest on your left shoulder. I think I said left. Your right leg goes either on your pillow or you can bring it on your blanket. Either way, the other prop that you're not using, you're gonna put behind you. Then extend your arms in front of your chest. Make sure that you have some support under your head. And as you take your next inhalation, lift your arm towards the sky, prayer breath, rotate your torso and bring your arm behind you. When you exhale, slowly and with control, close. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Close your eyes and continue at your own pace. So really everybody has different lung capacity and you want to honor that. So some of you are going to be going a little faster. One way in which you can start training your lungs is counting 4 on the inhalation or 6 or 8, depending, once again, on your lung capacity, or just count very, very slow and try to match the same pace as you exhale. Count 4, 6, or 8. Continue opening on the inhalation and closing on the exhalation. If you are comfortable with the mantra, you may repeat in your mind, so, as you open, and hum as you close. So you can do it out loud if you're free to do so at home, if you feel like doing it. So we'll continue, maybe follow the hand with your gaze, maybe close your eyes and your nose follows the hand, depending what feels right. Those of you who practice Kumbhaka, you are welcome to hold Kumbhaka for 2 counts, 4 counts, or you can match the counts of your inhalations and exhalations. If you choose to do the pause, you want to make sure that you don't feel any pressure on your temples, behind your eyes. If there is high blood pressure, heart condition, forget about it. It's not worth it. Just continue to flow at your own pace. I'll leave you to it. Observe. If this prayer breath bothers your hip, instead of having the bottom leg extended, you can bend the bottom knee and stack them like we do traditionally. And instead of having the blanket under your right leg or right knee, you can have it in between your knees, and that will also give you some extra support. So instead of being extended, you can bend the knees and stack and continue at your own pace. If you are comfortable with Shunyak, you can also practice the pause at the bottom of the exhalation. You don't have to. The next time you open, relax here on your spinal twist. You can keep your arm on your bolster or your blanket if you have one. If you don't need one, you can take it out of the way. And once again, once you find that posture that supports you, by having the arm extended, maybe you start feeling some tension on your elbow. So bend your arm. You can rest your hand on your shoulder or on your rib cage or on your hip. Your right arm. If your mind starts wandering, return to your mantra, Soham. Take 3 more breaths, full deep breaths. Very mindfully, and on your next exhalation, you can bend the elbow, right elbow if it's not, and bring your arm forward. Relax your hands in front of your face. You can bend both arms. You can rest your hands under your temple. Stack your knees, so bend the bottom leg. And observe. Take a few deep breaths here. Send your breath into the right side of your body. Expand. Side rib cage. And let all the air go. And so you may notice that your right nostril becomes dominant. Observe that. Don't worry if it's not. If you don't get any sensation, that's okay. Full deep breaths here. Don't let your mind wander. I'll leave you to it for a few moments. And take one more breath here. And place your top hand in front of your chest. And on your next exhalation, be mindful, help yourself up. And just take a few moments here. We're going to switch sides. So maybe pass your props the other way, wherever you were using. And so once you're ready, you're going to turn onto the other side towards your right shoulder. Have your blanket or your pillow or bolster under your left leg. Extend your right leg and bring your hands in front of your chest. Stack your shoulders. Relax. And when you're ready, inhale, rotate your torso and follow your left arm behind you. And as you exhale with control, close. Find your rhythm. Maybe repeat your mantra as you inhale, so. And as you exhale, hum. I am that. Another translation is, I am one with the divine, or one with my creator. It will continue at your own pace. Once again, we're working with the timer. And once you are comfortable moving at your own pace, see if you can elongate your breath a little more. So we may count again, 8, 4, 6, 8 as you breathe in, and the same as you breathe out. Those of you who were practicing Kumbhaka on the first round, you might want to try again. If you're comfortable closing your eyes while doing prayer breath, you might bring your inner drishti to your Ajna chakra, your third eye. You may bring it to the tip of your nose. And if you're not comfortable, just follow your hand. Remember that prayer breath strengthens your lungs so they work to its fullest capacity. It helps you with sleeping problems, with insomnia. So this is a good practice for you to remember to do before going to bed. You want to really slow down the breath as you open on the inhalation. And when you exhale, make sure that you allow all the air out. The next time you open, stay here and breathe. Going on to your spinal twist. Remember that you can have your bolster or your blanket behind you. If once you get into that place where you find stillness, if it's not comfortable for you to keep that bottom leg extended, bend your knee instead and maybe place your blanket or your pillow between your knees. And that makes it a little easier on your back. Adjust your head, close your eyes, and begin to deepen your breath on the left side of the body. Some of you may not use the prop under the arm, and that's okay too. Just make sure that you allow your shoulder to ground to the best of your ability. Breathe. Expanding into your left side. Rising and falling. We're gonna take one more breath here, full deep breath. You may bend your left arm and bring your arm forward, relax your shoulder forward, and stack your hands in front of your face or under your temple. You may stack your knees, round your back a little bit, breathe into your left side, rising and falling. Don't tense your jaw, keep your eyes softly closed. You can be gazing at your Ajna chakra, or just relax your eyes. You're gonna take one more breath here. Use your top hand to slowly help yourself up onto your seated position. Take your time, don't rush. And now we're gonna gather our props once again. So depending on what props you have available right now or what your back and hips say, sometimes you can use the pillow or the bolster, or you can take your blanket and make yourself a noodle. You can use both blankets if you want to mimic if you don't have a bolster handy and you want something a little bit thicker for your side. You can have, I will use my blanket so you can see. So you can do 1, 2 blankets, bolster or pillow, and lay over your left shoulder. We just did left, didn't we? No, we did right. We're gonna lay down on the left and have the bolster or your blankets between your hip and the rib cage. So you don't want this prop digging onto your rib cage, so try to adjust until you feel it right in between. You can keep your knees extended. You can rest your hands under your hip. You can have your pillow if you're not using that, or your blankets if you're not using that, under your head for extra support. Or if you want, some of you like better going onto the arrow pose. So you want to extend the bottom arm, interlace your fingers, and then release the index for Jupiter Mudra. And you can stay here. If you feel you want more, you can extend your legs and go onto full arrow. But once you have stacked all of your joints, then you relax here. So whichever you want to do, whichever pose feels better for you, just make sure that this is too much of an extension for your side, or it feels too intense for your hip or your lower back, you bend your knees. If this is too much for your shoulders or it pinches anywhere, you don't want to stay there. So make sure that you have your other prop or props handy so that you can have them for extra support. And you want to find that spot where you are super comfortable. And once you get there, close your eyes and try to find that meditative state of mind. Breathing in through your nostrils and expand into your belly, into your side ribs, all the way up to the top. And when you exhale, let all the air go. Rising as you inhale. Falling as you exhale. Don't let your mind wander. And you can go back to your mantra.
Your mind will wander, bring it back, and watch your breath again. Deepen your breath, but quiet it down. Expand into the right side, letting all the air go. When you are ready, bend your knees, stack them, and release your mudra. Bring your top hand in front of you. You can keep resting your head on your bottom arm if you have your arrow pose, or if you have your prop, or you can have your prop now and take a few moments here with your knees bent. Just checking in with your shoulders, relaxing, noticing the breath, the heartbeat. Take one more breath, fully breath. And with control, use your top hand. You're gonna help yourself up on your next exhalation. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So when you are ready, turn onto your right shoulder. So we first start with our knees bent. Remember that you want to lay over the prop, trying to keep your hip on the floor and making sure that your rib cage is not digging into your prop, so you can breathe deeply and expand it. Then either rest your hand on your prop or on your hands, or extend your bottom arm. Maybe reach up and go into Jupiter Mudra. Maybe cross your fingers the other way and then index point. You can keep your knees bent and relax here, relax your arms and head on the floor. Or once again, if you went onto arrow pose, extend your legs on the mat, stack your joints, and then relax your body here. So whichever version you pick, you want to make sure that you are really comfortable here. And turn to your breath as soon as possible. If you still need to make any adjustments, go for it until you find that perfect spot that allows you to relax completely. It usually takes some time just to get to that place. And even when you find that place, sometimes after a few breaths, the body doesn't like it anymore, and it is okay to change it, so that you can once again dive into the depths of your mind. So that's what we're trying to do, just to place the body into that place where we are comfortable, and then we go in. The way you go in is through the breath, anchoring your mind that way, or using your mantra. We're working with Soham today, but if there is any other mantra that you'd rather repeat in your mind, you can do that. It can also be a word that means something to you. Maybe it's a quality that you need today. Maybe it is faith, hope, gratitude. Maybe it's love, compassion, kindness. Whatever that is that you're trying to bring up to the surface, just repeat that word in your mind, so that you can surround yourself with that energy, with that consciousness. Then breathe deeply and don't let your mind wander. Observe. Rising and falling. We'll take one more breath here, full deep breath. Bend your knees, bring them in towards your chest. And you're gonna release your Jupiter Mudra. And bring your top hand in front of your chest just for extra support. You can have it under your head or under your temple if you want. And just take a few moments here. Just like you did on the first side, you just observe your breath, notice your heartbeat. And take one more breath, full deep breath. And without any rush, you're gonna help yourself with your top hand to come up on your next exhalation. And take a few moments here. Gather your props once again. So for your blankets, if you like, you can have one blanket under the knees. And for the second blanket, you may do a little noodle and place that noodle at the back of the mat so that your ankles can go right on that edge so that we're not hyperextending the top of the feet. You can have your blanket under the knees and have your pillow or your bolster in front of you. Hinge right at the hips. Lean forward, wiggle your body, and maybe move your bolster away so you can rest your elbows on the floor, rest your forehead down, and relax. Palms may face up. Another option for you is having your bolster across and against your knees, hinge from the hips. And if you are quite gifted, you know who you are, you can move your gift to the front, stack your fist and rest your forehead down. If you want, you can also have the bolster under the armpits and rest your chin on your hands or rest your head sideways. Whichever version, you can play around with the bolster, whichever works better for you, stay there. If you're doing putting your head sideways, so I'm gonna do it facing you so then it's a little easier too. Like if you're doing sideways, you can stay here and relax, and then when I cue you, you can turn your head around just so that you stay even. If that doesn't work for your knees and you still want to stay on this supine, pronated, pose, you can move your buttocks away from the heels and rest on the bolster a little higher, or your fists. And definitely, if that's a no-no because your knees don't like that, then you are welcome to go onto your back and then do the supine pose and have your bolster right under your buttocks. Bring your knees towards your chest and then allow the roundness of your back. Relax your hands by your sides. Close your eyes and observe. So you want to have the bolster in a position that tilts your pelvis in a posterior position, and that will just allow your knees to relax your feet. You can go onto a goal pose posture if you like, or the star pose position, extending your arms at the corners of the mat or overhead. So play around with what works for your arms. There's no right or wrong, just make sure you are comfortable. And then watch your breath. Once you get into that place that works for you. If you have your head sideways, turn it to the other side to balance your neck and breathe. If you are on your child's pose and your head was sideways, you're gonna turn it to the center, chin or forehead to the center. Bring your hands under the shoulders and push yourself up slowly. Those of you on your back, gonna slowly bring one at a time feet on the floor. Pick up the bolster and release onto the ground. And from wherever you are, very mindfully, you're gonna meet me at a seated position and gather your props once again. Take your time to get there. Have your blankets handy and your pillow. We're gonna go into our back bend. So this one, as I tell you in class, you want to have this position of your bolster or your pillow. You want to lay down slightly away from it so that you have that edge of your prop at the upper back, and then rest your head back. If you find like your head is falling back like mine right now, you can use your hands to adjust and elongate the neck, but still have a gentle arch on the back of the neck. Or you can have, instead of having your blankets underneath the pillow, you can have a rolled blanket under your neck. Those of you who like back bends and you like deep back bends, and there is no concern with your lumbar spine, you are welcome to have your bolster across and go onto that back bend that works for you. You can have your blankets under the head, or you can rest your head on the floor. But whichever version you pick, make sure that it's not pinching your back. It feels right. You can relax your arms, let your shoulders be heavy, relax your feet, your legs, move your head side to side, relax your jaw. Those of you who love to go onto Supta Konasana or your butterfly position, you're welcome to bend your knees. Rest your foot soles first on the floor and then allow your foot soles to touch while your knees flare. So this is not gonna feel good for everybody, so make sure that this suits your hips and your knees. And if there is any pinching sensation or torquing sensation in any joint, you want to stay away from that. So you can bring your knees up if you still need that bend of the legs, or you can walk your feet apart and rest your knees together. So this is an internal rotation of the hips, but still will help your back to ease. When you have your legs extended, might pinch on your lower back. So whichever it is, we're not going on to Matsyasana or fish pose, so you don't want the crown of the head on the floor. You want to rest the back of the head either on your props or on the floor. So once you find your pose, relax into it, breathe. Really deepen your breath. And when I cue you when it's time to come out. But if you need to come out before I cue you out, bring your hands behind your neck and put the weight of the head on your hands to help yourself up. And then you can help with your core and with your legs coming all the way up. Remember the ones you have found your pose, relax there on your back bend. If it was confusing, I was showing you how to come out if you need to come out before the time is up. Expand on the inhalation and let your body fall on the exhalation. If at any point there is any joint or muscle that is not happy here anymore, please listen to your body, adjust. If you went with the bolster across the mat and the body's just saying no thank you, then you can come up mindfully, holding onto your head to support your neck, and then cross the bolster, maybe place it along the mat and just rest onto the edge, having that extra support under the head. It is important that you look after your neck. It's very sensitive, and sometimes the stretches, they don't look intense. They look very simple, but they can be a lot for your neck, for your whole back, so just watch it. Continue to breathe. If you went for your butterfly position and your legs or your knees or your hips are not happy there anymore, remember you can always bring your knees together and walk your feet apart or extend your legs on the mat. Deep breathing. We are into the last minute of the pose. If you need to adjust, you can go for it now. We'll take 2 more breaths, full deep breaths. Remember that to safely come up, you're gonna bring your hands, interlace them behind your neck. Put the weight of the head on your neck. You can bend your knees just a little bit to help your back. Squeeze your bum and help your head up. Once you feel comfortable and your back is neutral, you can engage your core, draw your navel in, and exhale up. Awesome. Release, shoulders back and down. You might move your legs side to side. And we're gonna meet on a seated position. So whether you want to have your bolster as support or your blankets, or you can sit up on your bolster gracefully like I just did. And you can also have your blankets for extra support under your knees. If you have a sweater or something, or you want to put on your socks, if you haven't, go ahead and do that. Cross your legs in any comfortable position. And when you're ready, make sure that your shoulders are over the hips, your knees are soft. Bring your hands together in Namaste position, interlace your fingers, and then release your index and your thumb. Uttara Bodhi Mudra. So once you have that diamond shape, flip that diamond shape against your body, and you're gonna place it below the sternum, right at the Manipura chakra or the solar plexus. Relax your shoulders. If you notice your shoulders are rounding forward once you have your mudra in this position, you can always flip your mudra forward and relax your elbows close to your body. So it doesn't really matter, just make sure it feels right for you. Then close your eyes, press the crown of the head towards the ceiling, draw your shoulder blades together and slightly move them down. And then begin observing the breath. Engage your legs, press them down onto the floor, maybe engage your glutes a little bit, and draw the pelvic floor up. Lifting. It's not a squeeze, it's a lift, like an elevator. Imagine like if you were trying to go to the bathroom and you're holding yourself. So that is your Mula Bandha, your first lock of energy. So we're creating this energy at the base of the spine, and we want to contain some of it there. So you want to engage those muscles. Then draw your navel gently in and pull it gently up. So that will help your back to avoid that to be overly arched. So you want an elongation of the back, but you also want neutrality. So once you find that place that works for you, you might connect with your vortex, with that, your center of gravity. And some of you might notice you start spinning with your eyes closed, and that's okay, just let it be. Some of you might move back and forth. You don't have to move, you might not move at all, and that's okay too, but some of you might experience that. It's totally normal. Keep your eyes closed and see if you can draw your inner gaze to the third eye, that space between the eyebrows, your Ajna chakra. Observe your breath and don't let your mind wander. If for any reason this mudra doesn't work for you, you can always rest your hands on your lap, palms facing up or down. Maybe thumbs and index touching for Yan or Chin mudra, or any other mudra that you wish to practice right now. I'm gonna take 2 more breaths here, full deep breaths. On your next exhalation, release your mudra, wiggle your fingers, rotate your wrists, shake the tension off. Rest your hands on your legs, take a few moments and observe. When you're ready, be mindful. You're gonna find your way onto your back. And take your props out of the way and find your way onto your Shavasana. You can use your pillow or your bolster for under your knees. Bring yourself onto your back. Have a blanket under your head if you like. Squeeze your bum, tuck your tailbone so that you release the sacrum on the floor. You can move your feet away from your body if you need to, from the rest of the body, and then relax your arms, move your head side to side. Hand position of your choice, just make sure it suits your body and your shoulders, but your body. Close your eyes and watch your breath. If you would like to go into Japanese meditation, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, keep your arms on the floor and let go. You may return to your mudra, your mantra. You may practice a mudra. Take 3 more breaths here, full deep breath. Last breath. Next time you inhale, bring your knees up. Exhale, extend your legs. You are welcome to take your bolster out of the way. extend your legs onto the mat or onto the bolster. Take a few moments. And on your next inhalation, extend your arms overhead and stretch and tense and squeeze every muscle tight, tight, tight. Hold, stretch, tense. Exhale, release. Again, inhale, stretch, tense, squeeze every muscle tight, tight, tight. Exhale, release. Last one, make it count. Inhale deeply, stretch and tense and squeeze, prune face. And exhale, let all tension go. And when you are ready, move onto your favorite side and lay on a fetal position. Take a few moments once you get there. Remember to check in with your body, with your breath, with your heart. Use your top hand to very slowly help yourself up on your next exhalation. Cross your legs. You can go back onto your bolster if you choose. And bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra or Namaste position. Relax your shoulders, your neck, your jaw. And let us take a breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to Om. Observe. Rub your hands together. Mukula Mudra over your eyes. Blink your eyes open. Inhale deeply, expand. Side out. Inhale. Side out. Last one, inhale. Let all tension out. And build up extra good vibes. Shower yourself with them all over. And shake off all tensions and stresses and whatever it is that you carry around. I won't be able to clean it up this time, but I trust you will. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful evening. Namaste.